Hey watch lovers, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers, and today I have for us round 2 of Tudor versus Breitling. On my left, the Tudor Black Bay chronograph, and on my right, the Breitling Chronomat chronograph here. Let's get over the dimensions of these real quick. Tudor is listed at a 41mm watch, while the Chronomat is listed as a 42mm watch. I measured 41.5, so above the crown, diagonally across the case, 41.5. I also measured 41.5 directly across the aluminum tachymeter bezel here. So 41.5, so a little bit larger than the 41 is what I came up with. And then the crystal from 3 to 9, I came up with 33.8. Compared to the Breitling, a little bit difficult with the crown protectors here, so I didn't measure from the very outside of that crown protector above the crown, diagonally across at 45.6. However, directly across the rider tabs, 3 to 9 here, that 15 to 45 on the bezel, I measured at 42.6, and then the crystal at 33.5. So 33.5 crystal versus 33.8. The crystals are very similar in size. So looking at these, I do think they are pretty similar, minus the crown protectors here. When you're looking at the pushers, and again, I have these pushers already unscrewed. So when we look at the chronograph, we can take a look at those for speeding this along a little bit. But overall, I think pretty comparable size to size. 14.4 millimeters thick, so about 14.5 on the Tudor. 15.3, so about a millimeter thicker on the Breitling. And then lug to lug, almost identical. I came up with an even 50 on the Black Bay, 49.9 on the Chronomat. We have 22mm lug widths on both. On the Tudor, 22 tapering down to 18 at the last link. You can see here we have a deploying clasp with a clamshell or fold over locking mechanism. No T-fit on this. However, you do have 3 anchoring spots within the clasp itself. You do have removable links by screw, and overall, pretty easy to get a pretty good size, although you don't have on-the-fly adjustment with these Chrono models. Solid stainless steel case back. Housing underneath that is the MT5813 movement, which if you're familiar with this movement, is the B01 movement from Breitling. So 70-hour power reserve. Again, haven't seen one of these with the case back off. I'm not sure how decorated these are. I'm sure I could find some images online. I maybe will do that as soon as I'm done filming this, just so I know. But comparatively speaking, we'll look at the exhibition case back and the movement on the Breitling here shortly. 184.2 grams, so not quite 185 grams on the full stainless steel bracelet here. And we'll take a look at the chronograph here in a second and get more into that dial. On the Breitling, again, we left off 22mm lug width. However, at the widest link right here, I measured 26. So a little bit wider there, but it does taper to 20 compared to the 18 on the Tudor. You have a butterfly style clasp on the Breitling. Dual push button release. Again, no micro adjustments on this. The links themselves, though, are pretty small. Should be able to get a good fit as small as the links are. Again, exhibition case back there. You can see the B01 movement. The same 70 hours of power reserve. If I can get that to focus. From a technical perspective, I would like to know, and need to do a little bit of a deeper dive myself into any modifications or adjustments Tudor makes to that B01 movement, comparing these since they are similar movements in both. And then weight on this, you do have a signed screw down crown on both of these. Both of them 200 meters of water resistance. I told you the Tudor weighed in 184.2. The Chronomat weighed in 197.6. So what is that? About 12, 13 grams heavier for the Chronomat. And then retail price. Tudor Black Bay, $55.50 versus the Chronomat at $87.50. I know right away some people are going to say, hey, these aren't even comparable. This is more of a tool watch. It's more of a chrono / diver. You know, the Breitling's a little bit more of a dress chrono. I get that. However, someone in the video last week asked to see these specifically. If I would have had the black dial, I would have loved to have done black dial versus the black dial. All of my Navitimer right now are on leather straps. I may pull a white or silver dial Navitimer and compare that to I have the white dial chrono on the bund. Maybe that'll be another round, 4th or 5th round. Look at 2 different chronos. So for today, this is what I'm giving you. the Black Bay Chrono versus the Chronomat. Let's take a closer look at the dial. You have a matte black dial. You do have recessed sub-dials here that I think are a nice contrast, a little bit of red text here. Red on the seconds hand. Nicely framed date window at 6 o'clock. And take a look at the Chronomat. I actually already started the Chrono there, so you got a full red second hand versus just a red tipped second hand, which I actually like to see on my chronographs, just to visually be able to see it quicker. Personal preference. Date window at 6 o'clock. Obviously, functionality-wise here, you have your small seconds hand at the 9 o'clock versus the small seconds at the 3 o'clock here. I'm sorry, it is at the 9 o'clock. I was looking here. Both at the 9 o'clock on the small seconds. Fixed bezel on your Black Bay. You do have a rotating bezel on the Chronomat. So hopefully that gives you a good comparison side by side. Hopefully I covered most of the items you'd be interested in. Let me throw these both on wrist real quick. Once again, I've rambled on a little longer than I'd like, so I do apologize if you're still with me. I'll give you a wrist shot here quick. I will say I find the Chronomat to be a little bit more top heavy. I don't know if the weight of the head of the watch just feels that way because of the bracelet, but just as I have them on, I do feel the Chronomat is a little bit more top heavy, just to give you some more feedback between the two. So let me hit the lights for you quick. I'll give you a quick lume shot and we'll wrap this one up. As always, gang, greatly appreciate you viewing. If there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to email me, brad@brentlmiller.com. Always happy to help out. Lume on these both is pretty good. I'm actually happy with both. You got your lume pip here on your bezel on the Chronomat. So interested to see what the take's going to be here. I think some folks are going to gravitate one way or the other pretty quickly on these. So I look forward to seeing the comments, and I'll see you in the comment section. Looking forward to round 3 moving forward between Tudor and Breitling. Thanks for viewing. We'll see you in the next video.